Getting my first mythic in Diablo 4 Season 9 was like finding that compass I really badly needed in a Zelda dungeon, but it took a lot longer this time in Diablo, and I didn't feel it was as rewarding when I actually got it. I guess this is most in part that there's no real way to beat out the RNG without grinding, which equals more time. Something as a dad is limited these days, unless I drink 100 coffees to survive work from gaming till 2 in the morning thinking I'm 25 again. Finally made it to T3 with no mythic, and honestly, that was my limit. My gear was pretty solid with just the amulet missing, a key passive common for any D4 player that hasn't got a unique in their amulet slot. You know this pain. And I tried T4 bosses, but to be honest, I was met with one shots. So it's safe to say that T4 bosses are not on my Christmas card list. So I knew I needed a mythic, and well, let's just say I wasn't confident about getting all the runes I needed to craft one, and that's because one shard I got from the season journey, easy enough, and the second would need to come from a mythic that I don't need, or Lilith, which has a hilarious bug at the moment where she can't be killed if you damage her too much. I mean, what am I supposed to do as a minion necro? Help me out here. Anyway, don't get me started on that rant. This video will get stale real quickly if we go into that. So this story of how I got the mythic feels weird. It's almost like I punched in the all weapons cheat on GTA. It was fun for a bit, but now I'm left a little bored. But more so been robbed of what should have been a great feeling moment. Let me explain. You see, I killed Belial a few times only to get a 4GA razor plate. Unbeknown to me, that's actually a good Spiritborn item. So I put it on trade to see what I would get offered for it, and well, 20 billion sounded pretty nice to me, so I sold it. And then I started paying attention to the trade, because now I've contributed to the chat, so I kind of cared about it a little bit more. It just so happens that 1 to 2 billion got you 99 Belial mats, and with 2 mats a go at getting a mythic sounded pretty good to me, right? Although, got me wondering where all these mats were actually coming from. And it just so happens that there's an item duplicating glitch going on in the back alleys of Sanctuary. And just like a brand new cheap pair of designer trainers from the back of a truck, I turned a blind eye to these shenanigans, but deep down I knew that they were going on. Well, it just so happens that the battle wasn't over yet, because I kid you not, it took me over 100 Belial kills to get my first mythic. And I know it's T3, but holy shit, that is a long grind. And I recently became aware of some other strategies requiring groups and killing bosses, etc. But that sounded like too much effort to maximize the reward. So it turned out that the mythic that I actually ended up getting was a Tyrael's Might, which was actually kind of great because my survivability in general, T4 content was struggling, but was so much easier in T3. However, I didn't have the damage to keep up with those bosses in T4, and so I grinded Belial some more and bought some more mats with that massive cash that I had. And I should feel bad about it, but the drop rate seemed so low that the more I grind, the less I felt bad about buying duplicated mats. And then when I finally got 2 more mythics, which were not the ones that I needed for my build shock, I had potential of 4 sparks, so the dread of facing the rune approach was vastly upon me. And the funny thing is about all of the boss farming is that it actually netted me a lot of runes. And with a little bit of trading and re-rolling runes and checking in with my friends and trading with them like some sort of Pokemon collector, I was able to build the mythic that I needed. Obviously, did not get the great graphics that I needed, but who's surprised there? And I was comfortable in T4 finally, but outside pushing Pit, I was like, what am I even doing here? What is even left to really achieve? I know I said I wanted something to strive for, something that wasn't handed on a plate. This didn't actually feel earned. It kind of felt artificial. Like they knew how to keep me chasing scraps instead of feeling rewarded. That's probably me done this season. Did I have fun? Kinda. Did I lose sleep? Absolutely. Would I do it again? Ask me next season. And as always, this video was sponsored by absolutely nobody. See ya!